I was born in 1991 and grew up with Alex the Kid on the Master System, Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation, and between those two consoles, Sonic on the Mega Drive. I was toying with the idea of doing a review of Sonic 3 or Sonic & Knuckles, but I was struggling to say anything new. I also love lists and so wanted to do a list on this channel at some point. The stars have aligned and so we now find ourselves with a video ranking all 27 stages from Sonic's original run on the Mega Drive. That's Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic & Knuckles. I hope you enjoy this rather long speedway down memory lane. Number 27, Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2. Okay, so this zone isn't bad. The problem is that it commits two cardinal sins of Sonic levels. Being A, it's bland with gimmicks like the lava and the grass being taken from Marble Zone and the seesaws being borrowed from Starlight Zone, and B, this level is extremely ugly. Normally I love this faux 3D in Sonic levels, but these pine trees are just look gross. The colour palette is really garish and unappealing, the background is just these clouds for some reason, and the music is eardrum piercing stuff. Oh, and what's with these two springs being put next to each other? This was amateur hour for Sonic Team. Number 26, Starlight Zone from Sonic 1. As a kid, this was my favourite level from this game. I love the music, the background, the colour choice, the enemy design, the seesaws that were reused in Hilltop Zone, but as an adult I have to say I never really have fun revisiting this one. The challenge is fairly deep in this zone and it's often in a really unfun way. There are lots of bottomless pits, including pits below seesaws, these exploding mines have a crazy blast radius, and these fans keep trying to push you to your death. It's a real shame too because this zone has the best boss in the game. I love that there are two ways to hit this boss, either by repelling the spike balls back to Robotnik or by using the spike balls and seesawing to help repel Sonic upwards to personally deliver the pain. Number 25, Scrap Brain Zone from Sonic 1. There's nothing bad about this level, though I do have a love-hate relationship with getting these spinning gears to shoot me off in the right direction. The main problem with this level is that it's just not memorable enough. The theming is cool, I love the giant machinery and the conveyor belts. It's a serviceable finale for the first game, but within the wider canon of Sonic levels, this one just doesn't feel remarkable. And what's with this really long and boring underwater section? Number 24, Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1. Before replaying all these levels to capture footage and do research for this video, I fully expected Labyrinth Zone to be at the very bottom of this list. It's a famously punishing underwater level, and despite Sonic now being synonymous with being fast, in Sonic 1 the developers had the habit of making Sonic go incredibly slow. But you know what? I don't think this is really a bad level. I mean, it's not a very good level, but it sits at about average regarding the level quality from the first game. The music is good, the theming is clear, the tile set is pretty basic though. I like the enemies, the bubble spawning areas are nicely placed out, and because this whole level takes place in these cramped interior spaces, it means this zone avoids the greatest offense of any Sonic level, being bottomless pits. The second half of Sonic 1 is full of bottomless pits, and Labyrinth Zone is a welcome reprieve from all of that. Number 23, Lava Reef Zone from Sonic & Knuckles. This zone has a cool fire and crystal cave theme, and the transition between acts is fun, but honestly this level is just a little too unremarkable. The way some parts of the level loop back around can be really confusing, and it never feels fun to be getting hurt by these long stretches of lava. They're like bottomless pits, but worse. Number 22, Marble Garden Zone from Sonic 3. This zone has lots of ideas, these blue spheres that raise platforms, this weird spinning top thing that can cut out major chunks of the level, the bit where the ruins crumble and you have to quickly escape. This boss here is really amazing. I mean, Robotnik doesn't do very much, but it's just really fun to have Tails fly you around. However, it is this low on the list because while good, it is on the low point in Sonic 3. There are these spike traps that squished me more times than I can remember, and this mini boss is useless. My biggest pet peeve in old video games is dying because you got hit from a falling bit of ceiling or a drop of water. If the machine itself hurt me, I would accept that death. But knowing that our hero has been felled by a little piece of falling debris, that is not acceptable. It does not feel like the player got outsmarted or outmaneuvered, it just feels dumb.
Always cool. Sonic the Hedgehog. No fool. Come on, just show me what you got. Going fast is cool, going slow is not. Sonic the Hedgehog. No fool.
Number 21, Aquatic Ruin Zone from Sonic 2. Now we get onto the shortest entry of this list. Aquatic Ruin Zone is fine, it has a nice mixture of land and underwater segments, there are lots of diverging paths, but generally this stage never really leaves any impact on me. The enemies are fine, the boss is fine, the various layers of background are really off-putting and disorientating, but honestly I usually just speed through this level without much thought. Number 20, Metropolis Zone from Sonic 2. Much like Starlight Zone from Sonic 1, this level was a childhood favourite. This level has lots going for it, these cool Mantis Blade dudes, this 3D bolt and screw, these spinning metal tunnels that were reused in Flying Battery Zone, and these wall bouncing pads that were reused all over Sonic 3. However, this stage has a habit of grinding my gears. There are too many bottomless pits. This tiny mechanized starfish has a habit of exploding at the most inopportune of times. And the biggest problem? This zone is simply too long. Why is this the only zone in Sonic 2 that has 3 acts? It just doesn't feel needed, it just feels like recycled stuff, and it really drags the pace down. Number 19, Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. Here it is, the most reused and referenced level in Sonic history, the level that started it all. And put simply, it's a fun level. Nothing too crazy happening here, just a nice introduction to the mechanics. Lots of opportunities to build up speed and some well placed invincibility boxes. A really solid zone for Sonic 1. Number 18, Spring Yard Zone from Sonic 1. Sticking with the first game, Spring Yard Zone feels like the progenitor to the casino levels found in later Sonic games. This zone is varied, playful, has these distinct little robot dudes that chase you, lots of spikes, lots of opportunity to use Sonic's momentum, a surprising number of alternate routes for the first game, the music is great too, so why isn't it higher? Well, 2 reasons. The first one is that Sonic 1 Zone simply cannot meet with the creativity found in later entries. And 2, this guy is absolutely the worst boss in the series. It's slow, it's tedious, and it even creates bottomless pits galore. Number 17, Sky Chase, Wing Fortress, and Death Egg Zone from Sonic 2. This trio of single act zones all lead into one another as one big zone under 3 separate names. There's this unique and highly memorable plane ride to the fortress, climbing the fortress whilst jumping on opening hatches and avoiding these death chickens, and then this super cinematic finale with Metal Sonic and the Eggman machine. This is a really imaginative and impressive high-stakes final stretch for Sonic 2. This is the first time that zones transition into one another, which would be then reused in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This is the first time we battle Metal Sonic. This is the first time we see Tails' plane. This is the first time we have a showdown with a giant robot version of Robotnik. There is so much Sonic iconography here that this sequence is best enjoyed with rose-tinted glasses, as when replaying this stretch, it's never quite as fun as you really remember. The plane sequence is just too brief, the fortress segment is a little too long, and the final 2 bosses are just a real pain to take down.
おいおい、みんなが君を随分と待っていたぞ。ビュンビュンハリネズミ、ほら来た、ソニック登場。この面白さったらもう目が離せやしない。カットリアクションゲームソニック・ザ・ヘッジホッグメガドライブから。
Number 16, Emerald Hill Zone from Sonic 2. I think that more so than any other zone in the main quadrilogy of games, Emerald Hill Zone really emphasizes speed. These levels are a dream to play through. They're simple, fast and fun. They're dense with alternate routes, secrets, speed boosts and invisibility boxes. This zone is pure speedy Sonic fantasy fulfilled. Number 15, Marble Zone from Sonic 1. Here it is, my favourite zone from the first Sonic game. This zone isn't always considered as one of Sonic's strongest due to the de-emphasis on speed and the focus on slow puzzle solving and precision platforming, but I love how unique this zone is. It has a vibe all of its own. I like pushing these blocks and riding along the lava, cautiously jumping from block to block as they fall from the ceiling. These spike traps that also double up as lifts to higher ground. I also love how well the lava is incorporated into the stage. From riding on lava, riding on these pillars of erupting lava, being chased by this wall of lava, and having these curved platforms methodically set ablaze after landing on them. Number 14, Death Egg Zone from Sonic & Knuckles. Wow, we're halfway through this list and this is only the second Sonic & Knuckles stage we've come across. This, the final stage, has lots of fun ideas. I love the sense of escalation, going into space for a big finale and boarding the high-tech Death Egg, filled with these fancy teleports, upside-down gravity, electrified conveyor belts, and these temporary laser-based walkways. This mini-boss is a really unique idea, but I'm awful at the timing. Still, the concept, the theming and the sense of escalation in this stage ensures that it is fun and memorable. Number 13, Sky Sanctuary Zone from Sonic & Knuckles. I'm including the Intermission stage, Hidden Palace Zone from this entry as one stage leads straight into the next. The intermission in question sees Sonic and Knuckles finally get on the same page and form an uneasy alliance. Sky Sanctuary feels suitably grand and epic, with Sonic finally being able to duke it out with Robotnik drones and fight in 3 separate encounters with Metal Sonic. I enjoy the verticality in the stage, as well as these bouncy clouds, the very pleasing colour scheme, and the fact that the mistiming of your jumps leads to Sonic dropping down to an earlier part of the stage, rather than to a bottomless pit. Oh, and who doesn't enjoy seeing Sonic having the time of his life as he floats and rotates on this buoyant gust of wind. Number 12, Launch Base Zone from Sonic 3. The final stage in Sonic 3 is my favourite final stage in the quadrilogy. The stakes don't feel too high here, owed to the fact that it's closely linked Sonic 3 to Sonic & Knuckles. However, what it loses in grandeur, it gains in excellent theming, lots of gimmicks like these zip lines, these lasers, these hidden switches that unlock new paths, these corkscrew lift pods, these pipes that work both as platforms and forms of transport, these cool little robot boxing frogs, the shameful glee that comes from seeing Knuckles finally being knocked down a peg or two, this insanely cool claw boss. However, the most impressive part of this zone is simply how dense it is. There are so many hidden secrets, exits, diverging paths. This is a densely packed zone whose secrets only really reveal themselves to the player after several playthroughs. Number 11, Mystic Cave Zone from Sonic 2, aka the spooky Halloween level. Mechanically, this level isn't anything too remarkable. I mean, I like these hanging switches and all, but what really shines here are the aesthetics. I love the music, the enemies, the colours. It's very unusual and striking for the series. I also remember this zone being my favourite for 2-player race mode, due to how disorientating and unpredictable it can feel. I love the general concept of the zone that I'm even willing to turn a blind eye to this subpar boss, and the first appearance of these stupid falling bits of pointy ceiling. Grumble grumble. Number 10, Ice Cap Zone from Sonic 3. Hey, we're finally at the top 10, pretty cool! What could be the coolest way to start this final stretch? I know, a snowboarding segment. Oh man, I used to adore this opening. I still love the music, the colours, the sense of speed as you blast down these icy slopes, bouncing on these purple trampoline platforms, beating up this cute little robo-penguin. I really like how this zone mixes up interior and exterior spaces. I like how distinct each of these spaces feel, and yet how seamlessly the zone transitions from one into the other. Number 9, Casino Night Zone from Sonic 2. I would say this is one of the 2 most popular and well-known stages in the Sonic series. It takes the trimmings of casino elements from Sonic 1's Spring Yard Zone and turns it into a fun-filled carnival of bright lights, slot machines, these pressure sensor boost spring things, these slow-moving blue blocks that always seem to crush me, the traffic light hot dog things. This level is bursting with imagination, and it's one of the few levels in the series that's just fun to spend 10 whole minutes playing around in, trying your luck at the slot machines again and again and again. Number 8, Oil Ocean Zone from Sonic 2. Okay, so I imagine most people would be surprised to see this zone so high on the list. Yes, these octopus dudes are pretty cool, as are these checkerbox cannons and these green tops that pop off at high pressure. However, my love for the stage is a very personal one. You see, I suffer from eczema, and as a child, baths would often dry my skin out and lead to me getting these rashes. So from a young age, I started using this stuff called Oilatum, and somewhere along the line, a connection was made between Oil Ocean and Oilatum. A connection that is so strong that even now, as a 30-year-old man, when I run myself a bath, I still think about the zone and hum this music.
アメリカで大活躍のスーパーハリネズミが日本でも大暴れ。その名はセガソニックザ・ヘッジホーグ。メガドライブで待ってるぜ。
Number 7, Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2. Here it is, the most popular zone in Sonic history, and it's easy to see why. The theming is distinct, the music is exceptional, this faux 3D blue goop is cool to look at, this climb up these moving blocks as the purple water rises is just the stuff of nightmares, and the variety of routes through this zone is staggering. My one gripe with this stage, and the reason it's not even higher on this list, is the awful boss. It's never fun to suddenly die when mistiming a jump and landing in the water, and I absolutely hate that Sonic can still die from this water even after the boss has been beaten. Number 6, Flying Battery Zone from Sonic and Knuckles. Okay, so we're entering solid gold territory. Marble Zone was my favourite zone from Sonic 1, Chemical Plant Zone was my favourite zone from Sonic 2, that means the remaining 6 entries are all from Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles. Ranking these last 6 entries was a really tough process. For a brief moment I had this zone as my number 1 spot. I mean, look at the transition into this level, it's badass. The level proper is a playground of flamethrowers that double up as springs, these magnets that lift enemies in the air and create unique platforming challenges, these huge metallic cyclones, climbing on these monkey bars, swinging on these propeller arms, avoiding the barrage of bombs, this fake out mini boss, this climactic final stretch as Sonic has to keep ascending before getting crushed, and this fun and intimidating boss encounter. So why isn't it number 1? This precision platforming section and the bottomless pit combo kind of veers into the wrong kind of challenging. Number 5, Hydro City Zone from Sonic 3. Unlike most platforming games, the Sonic series has its fair share of water levels that are actually fun. Hydro City Zone is the best of the bunch. It's a varied and vertical zone where, much like in Chemical Plant Zone, the better you do, the less time you spend in the water. Do well and you can spend time with these fans, rotating platforms and water slides. Keep your speed up and Sonic can even run across the surface of the water, avoiding getting wet entirely. However, even when you're underwater, you're still having fun, especially thanks to these spinning top gloves that blast Sonic right back into the action. Oh, and I really like the design of these torpedoes. I also love this opening stretch that always gets my heart racing and my palms sweaty. No matter how many times I play it, I always seem to just die here. Number 4, Angel Island Zone from Sonic 3. I'm going to keep this entry short and sweet. Sonic 3 introduces transitions between acts. Something happens in Act 1 that changes the environment for Act 2. The first transition in the game is the best one. We start in this lush, vibrant green jungle in Act 1. Robotnik shows up, burns it to the ground, and then Sonic is left to traverse this treacherous fire forest. Finally, the player is given a reason to care, a reason to want to get Robotnik. We know he traps animals and puts them into robots, but with this act transition we finally get to see Robotnik actively and irreversibly destroy habitats. Oh, and running away from this bomber is just too cool. Number 3, Mushroom Hill Zone from Sonic & Knuckles. Put simply, this is the Sonic stage I would most love to live in. It is aesthetically and musically beautiful. The mushrooms are fun to bounce on. I really appreciate how these enemies merely inconvenience Sonic rather than directly hurt him. I love the transition from summer to autumn and then winter, helping again convey that Robotnik is sucking out the nature from these environments. Oh, and this boss has the coolest use of 3D in all of the quadrilogy. Okay, so my top 2 zones are kind of unorthodox picks. I've always loved these 2 zones since I was young, however when doing research on this video I discovered that one of these picks isn't remembered much, whilst the other one seems to just be generally disliked. We start with the one that people seem generally apathetic towards. Number 2, Sandopolis Zone from Sonic & Knuckles. I love this place. Obviously, it's my second favourite zone. Act 1 is lots of fun. I like this abseiling, jumping up on the pouring sand, getting tricked by these moving rocks. However, the real standout is Act 2. It's my favourite single act in the whole series. There are these time switches, rising sand that can crush Sonic, and best of all, these anxiety-inducing ghosts that appear as light within the tomb starts to dim, meaning that Sonic must act quickly and pull on these switches to turn the lights back on. Sonic games have often been about going fast. However, Sandopolis Act 2 reframes this. Sonic doesn't just have the option of going fast, he has to go fast to get through these gateways, to avoid the sand and to keep the ghosts away. There's no rest in this level, and there's this rhythmic sense of challenge it introduces that is completely unique for the series, and I think this experiment paid off massively. I really don't understand how this level typically sits in the middle of people's rankings. There's nothing ordinary about it at all. Oh, and on What Culture's list, this zone appears as the second worst. Justice for Sandopolis Zone. Before I replayed these games, captured the footage and decided a ranking, I was 90% sure that this would end up in the number 1 spot. Replaying it again helped me reaffirm my love for it. I'm talking about number 1, Carnival Night Zone from Sonic 3. I've always loved this zone, helped in part by the fact that to me it feels like a more exciting and dangerous version of Casino Night Zone from Sonic 2, and also helped by the fact that it acts as the backdrop for the PAL game cover. I assumed everyone loved this stage, but was surprised to see that it didn't appear in any popular top 10 lists. It was ranked in the middle of this What Culture list and was considered one of the 5 worst stages by one YouTuber called Tallest Flash. It seems that most of the hate is centered on these red barrels. I never had a problem with them, and I love messing around with them. Obviously I love the theme of this level, along with the music and the transition to Lights Out in Act 2. However, what puts this at number 1 are all the alternate routes and all the amazing gimmicks. Count them with me. There's these pinball bouncers, these hover platforms, these giant spinning records, these balloons that act as one-time platforms, these underwater balloons that double up as air bubbles, the infamous red barrels, these lifts that work as boost pads when on their side, these Donkey Kong style cannons, these bizarre raising red pustule platforms that I'll admit I don't really understand, these spinning red and white beams, these metal grippy rotating pillars, these Mega Man style enemies that double up as springs. Yeah, the bosses aren't anything special, but who cares when the acts are so fun and so laden with entertaining and playful gimmicks. So that's my list. What do you think? Would you like to share some of your own rankings? Any statisticians out there might be interested to see how the 4 games compared to one another. Sonic 1 levels had an average placing of 21st place. Sonic 2 levels averaged at 15th place. Sonic & Knuckles levels averaged at 10th place, and Sonic 3 just about edged it out at averaging at 9th place. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you next time. Bye!